Offline. Oh, here we go. Hello there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo for episode 160. Dave and Busted Nut. It's episode 160.
Good.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about a little later about the fucked up exchange rates when it comes to finding when you take your kids to Dave and Buster's, or adults go there and stuff like that. It's a fun place, but I did the math when I was there yesterday, taking my daughter. I'm here with Jenna Kelly. Who's one?
Hello.
Is she here with us? Yes,
I'm
Damon.
here.
Hello.
Damon. Okay. Some of the labeling of the I noticed over the last couple episodes, I may have screwed up. We called one episode Gargoyles, and that was actually the next episode, and the other one was called something else. And I kept on saying this is what this episode is called, and people, whatever they care. Do they care?
Apparently they do.
If they care if I name an episode?
Oh,
This one.
I don't.
I got to remember Dave and Busted Nut.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You
Dave
get
and
a title
Buster's,
right.
and I don't think Dave is copyrighted. And I don't think I don't think Bust Nut is copyrighted. The other one is Buster's,
Yes.
but I didn't say it in a row, so I didn't copyright that. But what happened is yesterday I took. We are in the Keys, and when you live in the Keys and you have a kid, and they have spring break, I have a big vacation coming up where we're going to Poland in July.
Right.
I'm there for 3 weeks. The family's going to be there for almost 5, and we weren't going to do anything during spring break. Plus, we're in the Keys. Where the hell else? Why do you need to go anywhere? Right? Your kids off.
No, a lot of my friends that go on spring break, they go snowboarding,
Okay, well,
skiing, because we have sun year round and boating year round and everything else, so they want the change.
yeah.
And
But the kid's going to be in vacation for practically the whole month of July,
Yeah.
and coming back to the beginning of August. So, her mother takes her out Monday, Abby, and has a great time with her. And Tuesday, I take her and her little friend up to Dave and Buster's. We drive up. This thing about South Florida is they're always working on the roads, right?
expressways are always under
Yeah.
construction.
We started out at 20 of 10 from Key Largo. There wasn't a lot of traffic going north, so we got up to at 10 o'clock. In most parts of the United States, at 10 a.m. local time, rush hour starts tapering off.
Right.
Well, we keep on going north. At 10:30, we run into god-awful traffic. To go 10 miles, it takes us 50 minutes to an hour.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, I was thinking we were going to get to the mall, this mall, Dolphin Mall, where this themed restaurant that is also a arcade is, and it's fun. It's there, and we're just crawling through traffic and stuff like that. And I realize, we're going to be up there for like 3, maybe 4 hours. But it's going to make her happy. This is what she wants to do. She wants this. I mean, it's just, and when you go up there, they have this redemption thing. When you go up there and you say, you get a certain amount of credits. It's not like an arcade when you were young. You buy credits, and the higher rates you buy them at, the more efficiently you accumulate them. So for $20 you get 100. For $29 you get 125, something like that. $50 you get the next step up, and then 75 and 100. But you get one card. You can't really split it up. Maybe I didn't really get into the nuances of it. The little girl that came with us had her card, which I realized wasn't going to be enough. Right after like 3 minutes of being there, I realized how they were pouring in the credits. So I don't have to tell the listeners what Dave and Buster's is like. I just said it. did I?
Second time.
But I'm not going to get in trouble. It doesn't matter. I could just say that. We could say,
talking
does it?
about it.
Tell you, just talking about it. You go in there, you spend all this money. You got some games where there's no redemption points, and there's other ones that are. And I was wondering for a while, I did a little research. I was trying to find out if a gaming company or casino company might be involved in ownership, because it would kind of be a great way to get kids involved with gambling. Right?
That's just such a terrible thought.
Well, that's what it is. Well, it's gambling. It's gambling pure and simple. When you have it's a game of chance. It's not as accurate as roulette. Not that it's always advantage to the house, or blackjack, or dice. Craps, or Texas Hold'em. It's not like that. It's just like more games like Keno and spinning wheels and stuff like that. So you go and spend, God, if you're there for 3 hours with a kid who's playing games and they're not particularly adept at these games, they don't keep on playing and winning extra points and all that stuff, and they're trying to accumulate points. You think they're going to, and at the end you get a little prize, right?
Yeah, like the old places where you'd like turn in your tickets, like playing skee
Well,
ball.
Chuck and Cheese's.
Yeah, like it would like shit out all the tickets, and you take your tickets up to the little prize counter, and you'd have to have so many just to get something stupid like one of those little fans or like,
Oh, it's well. I mean,
toys.
I did. The way I equated it is the only way you can equate the value of it is to look on the top shelf when you go to the redemption area. And there was a Roomba. And it wasn't nearly as nice as the Roomba you have in there. It was like a 2-year-old,
like old model.
an older model Roomba. It was 100,000 points. Now, on one of the games, they
Maybe
have
I'm
a
thinking
big
about
wheel.
it in pesos.
No, but they have a game, which is kind of like what's the one where you have to guess the price? The Price is Right, and during the mid section where you get the people on the showcase, you have to spin the big wheel.
Right.
The big wheel is you're reading the edge of the wheel, and all the values on the edge of the wheel. And at Dave and Buster's, you got this big hand crank, and you kind of just take it, and you push it down, and you turn the big wheel, and you have all the numbers on it. And it could be 20 different places, and I guess you have 101 shot of hitting the 1,000. It could be even greater. It could be 150 to 1 of hitting 1,000 points. It costs almost. They make it 9.9 credits. I don't know why 9.9 credits. Why didn't they just make it 10 credits each time you spin the wheel?
So you end up.
But you get 100. I mean, you could literally go up there for $20, spin the wheel 10 times, use up almost all your points, $20 worth of points. And if you're really unlucky, you can end up getting 40 tickets, which get you zero anything. I don't think
No
there's
prices.
anything of 40. I don't think there may not be anything of 40 tickets of value in the redemption center.
Maybe like pencil
Yeah,
erasers.
but if you're, let's say, and I was doing the math when the girls were running around, how much would it take to get the Roomba? Went in there, 100,000 points. 100,000 points. Well, if you went up there, and I think it would be anywhere between, depending how you purchase them in a block, between $180 and $220, and spun it, you'd have to, in order, the most spins you could get out of it would be, let's say, about 100, right?
Yeah.
And that would be 100 would be 1,000 credits, and I think you can get 1,000 credits for about between $180 and $225, and you hit 1,000 each time, you could get the Roomba. So the cheapest you can get it, and winning everything, and being astronomically lucky, being able to hit 1 out of 100 each time, 100 times in a row, you get the Roomba. That is very unlikely. It is very unlikely in 100 spins that you'd get $4,000 outcomes. So you might end up like 6,000 points, right? For 180. $180.
Plus you
Now,
think,
how much
though,
an old room? If you went on eBay to get an old Roomba or an old style one, how much is a Roomba right now?
I think we paid 220 maybe.
220. And I tell you, the 220 for a brand new Zoom,
Right.
you could go and buy it. There's virtually no way to get a win, a big jackpot, multiple times with $180 worth of points and get anything of value there. I mean, you could get, we went there, we spent, so they both had $29 cards, blah, 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 blah. They had 125 and 100 points. It's 225. I got them another $20 card each. That's 200 credits. So 250 credits. And so 450 credits total. They walked out with a little squeeze toy, an amorphous stuffed animal, some candy, and everything that legitimately was worth, and I'm going to just say, if you went to a dollar store, maybe $10.
Right.
Maybe $10.
Of course, it's a racket.
Maybe $10. And the
But then
value
you
of
had
it, the
hours of
value,
entertainment.
what it cost was $2. What it cost was $2. What it cost them was $2 probably. And so their turnover is close to 50 to 1.
So what you're saying is you want to do a franchise of a Dave and Buster's so you can rake on all that money.
I think there's all sorts of things you can do. It doesn't have, your redemption doesn't have to be objects. It could be services,
Oh.
like a massage parlor, Dave and Buster Nuts.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster Nuts, right?
There you go.
Yeah, you go and you go in there, and the guy goes, "You got shufflebowl, you got throwing like little quarters into shot glasses and stuff like that. All these things that drunks can do and stuff like that. And then you go into an area and you can get you can redeem your points. You get a hand job, this, that, and my God,
Or
the
more
best
free
one,
drinks.
the happy ending, happy ending, and you can go to the deluxe thing.
Put the happy ending way on top by the Roomba.
Yeah, but the way you accumulate points and stuff like that is, instead of being like, it'll take $1,000 to get to the top one. $1,000.
Yeah.
We're in an Asian massage parlor that's, for the best thing, is probably like $80 to $100. You get 10 to 1 return. It's a great idea. Think about it.
Or you could partner with the Asian massage and give.
I mean, Robert
like,
Kraft.
coupons for them
Robert
too.
Kraft from the New England Patriots thinks it's a great idea.
Yes.
He
I
does.
wonder how much he paid.
He paid about $100, I think.
That's it.
Maybe
really?
$200.
Crazy.
I know, a billionaire, right?
Yeah, and so cheap.
He could have had, Robert Kraft could go and pay a Chinese scientist to clone women that he could have sex with for less money than he's going to end up paying for this debacle.
Gross.
No, but you just think of a chain like this. And Dave and Buster's, and I'll tell you, this is the reason why I wanted you to research this. Dave and Buster's started out. It was, Dave was a bar, they were in Texas. It was Dave and the guy, what are their names? James Corley. James Corley, I think the guy's name was. And Dave's was just a regular bar. I think a regular bar. And next to it, they were maybe in a strip mall or something like that, was a place that had a lot of arcade games. And they decided to partner up and put them together. And, just make it adult entertainment. And they started out, I don't know if it's Texas or Arkansas, and this is the reason why I said. And the original place, described by an Arkansas business executive, was a favorite haunt of politicians, bond daddies. I don't know what a bond daddy is. That could be like a trust fund baby. Bond daddy. And cocaine whores. and it just had a bad reputation for the thing. And you go there and stuff like that. I met a couple girls at Dave & Buster's in Philadelphia. They had a place around the corner from where I live, up in the northeast part of the city. It was great.
I've never been to one.
You go up there and actually at Dave & Buster's they had a nightclub. They had a bowling alley. You go there, you can go bowling. They had laser bowling where the ball's lit and the lanes are lit and you're lit because the fucking bar's open. Dead pool tables, food, nachos, all that shit. You're paying a little more than stuff like that. Tons. I mean, obviously it's not the classic place that certain girls would want to go to. Maybe, the kind of girls you want to, that would kind of free morals where
The
you can
ones
just
you want
go.
to take home but not introduce to your mother.
I didn't. No, not necessarily. I would not necessarily. You could probably need. Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's a possibility you wouldn't want to take them home to your mother. There's a lot of girls that didn't want to take them home and introduce my mother. There's a lot of girls I wouldn't mind. Either one. It's not like they're going to see them again. Usually people are well behaved the first time you go and take them. They're going to be nice to your mom. It's the second, third time they start getting wise ass and stuff like that. And go say, your son's a jerk off and stuff like that. And he left in the middle of the date one time. Just left me where I was.
Well, you were on your phone, so...
Well, that was that texting thing, yeah. But this was before texting. I told you guys about the one where the guy took the girl out and she started crying a little. She wanted to go someplace. She had to say goodbye to some guy, and he was such a sweetheart and loved her and stuff like that. But they just couldn't get along. But she had to see him. So you have to see him tonight on our second date? She goes, yeah, I have to. I took her there and I dropped her off. And then she called me up like 5 times when I was home. Left message on my answer machine. Asking me where I was. So I went out. She goes, well, why'd you go out? And I said, well, you went to see your old boyfriend. I was just saying goodbye to him. I said, you chose to say goodbye to him on our second date.
Yeah. That.
You should have been, at this point, when you're calling, you should be saying goodbye to my penis. Is that harsh? Come on, are you not listening? Are you on the phone again?
Oh, God.
Oh, you're just doing it. You're
People are driving
reliving.
me
I'm reliving the whole event again. Damon, Jenna's on her phone.
She is.
Yeah.
It's important business.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. It's just as funny. It's kind of like a flashback for me. But have you been in those places? You've been in a place where you go to a Dave & Buster's or any type of place, Chuck E. Cheese like that. My daughter informed me on the way up. We were driving by and it was the traffic was real slow, and I noticed off the turnpike I saw Chuck E. Cheese. I said, "Hun, 4 years ago you've been perfectly fine with going over there." And she goes, "Chuck E. Cheese's takes all the unused pizza and puts them back on a tray and tries to resell them as a whole pizza again." Yeah, she says that's what they said. And she showed me a picture. And we were stuck in traffic. We weren't moving at the time. And she goes, "See?" And she shows me a pizza that kind of like everything's kind of slightly disjointed. And I said, "Yeah, well, according to that picture, it looks like it's a real story right there." And she goes, "Well, yeah." I said, but Chuck E. Cheese, they got some games there and stuff like that. You can order some points. You get pretty much the same stuff you're going to get there. And she did. It was the same stuff. It was in the same games of chance. A little easier. Maybe she can make higher point totals. There's all sorts of shit. You go up to one of the games and stuff like that. You put your card in and nothing goes. Nothing happens. You go up to them and go, "Hey, this game's not working." And you go, "I'm sorry. Oh, we just spent like $3, And they're like, and you go and bitch at the counter. We want our points back because this game then. But if you're spending 15 minutes at a counter, is that counterproductive?
It's counterproductive at the counter.
It is counterproductive at the counter. Wait, come on, be a little more forceful. Jenna?
Rawr.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that all I'm going to get from you tonight? Let it go. Let it go.
I can't. These people
Did you ever
just
see
won't stop
Frozen?
bothering me.
Fuck them.
I know. God.
Don't listen to them. Listen, remember that thing I told you about the French guy up in Quebec?
Yeah.
Or the Quebec?
I should just start answering back in French.
You should.
German.
A German. I speak German.
Yeah,
I can
you do speak. Oh, Minnesota, right?
No. It's nothing to do with Minnesota.
Lebanese.
Yeah, Lebanese people usually speak
Lebanese
German.
speak German. Yeah, I saw it. Is that it?
No. I took it in school.
You took German in school?
I did because they said it was the hardest.
Nerd.
Chinese is harder than German.
Well, that's out of the few languages
Okay.
they offered at school. That was
My
the
niece,
hardest.
my niece is fluent in Mandarin.
Ooh, that's tough.
Oh, she's she's an Army intel right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Well, we'll find out.
Oops.
Yeah, oops, I'm getting a phone call tomorrow saying, did you just mention to everyone that your niece was an Army intel? And I was just saying, I don't remember. I was drinking a little. That's what I'll do. Okay, well, we'll go on a little trivia. I think we built this Dave and Buster's thing. I was just amazed about the amount of points it would take to redeem a Roomba. Or, what was it, remote control cars. That was incredible. It would be like $300 worth of points to buy a remote control car. You could buy it for $20 someplace.
Return on
So-
investment.
It is a great return on investment. I'll tell you, the service was excellent there yesterday. I should say that. It was and it wasn't
Well, so they're making out everywhere. They're making profit on your food and your drinks. and
Oh,
all
when
the
you're
games
buying the
that you
food,
play.
they give you the option of buying a $20 card when you're doing it, and they kind of go like, so you can't do the math. You get a $20 card, and you get chicken finger basket for your kids, and go, well, that's $27.95. That means $7.95 for a chicken finger basket, which is pretty much the price for a chicken finger basket.
Right.
And they go,
And then you got to tip them.
and you tip them on. I tipped them on the whole thing.
Right.
You know what? The poor girl was running around and stuff like that. She had a big section and stuff like that. And she was apologizing. I said, I know exactly what's going on. You just open up. That's fine. Don't worry about it, honey. And just do it. I knew I was going to spend the money. I knew when I was going up there was going to be the big deal. But every time I see the model, business model, I go, holy shit, what a great idea. And it was raining yesterday in Miami and Key Largo, spring break. Everyone down here, nothing. You can't fucking go out. I mean, you can go outside, but it's raining. What the fuck? It's not that. It's no better than wherever they're from, except a little warmer. Definitely a little wetter. And I figure it would just be wall-to-wall people. And won't you fucking know it? There's a waitress from the Blackwater Siren there with her kids.
Oh.
Natasha. It's pretty cute, too. No, but I'm sitting there with my daughter. I go, I got to go and say hi to this woman. I said, wait, I'm only saying hi because we used to do podcasts from there. I ran over to say hi to her, and she goes, who's that woman? My 12-year-old said, don't worry about it. Someone in Blackwater Siren. And I just want to go over and say hi. I didn't want to sit there because that would be rude. I like gave her a breast massage or anything like that.
Not without charging the
That wouldn't be appropriate. Oh,
How many
there are
points
we
you got
still
on that
going,
card?
Jenna? Knock it off. Just say knock it off.
Here I am. I did. I
She's-
already had to tell his wife to shut up. Now I'm telling him to shut up. Leave me alone.
They got to relax. Oh, well, we'll get back onto, since we are the Keys bartender, and it's not all about me, but it is about the Keys. There is the governor of Florida is having in May declaring a day, Charles F. DuPont Day, and Charles F. DuPont was the first black sheriff elected in Florida, and he served to serve. He served in Key West. He was elected in 1888. And believe it or not, you think if you're a student of history, right after the Civil War, a lot of freed slaves got elected to Congress and things like that. But there was a pushback from Reconstruction. They were calling that Reconstruction. And 1888, it was all settled down. Like it was almost back to the old ways, except for slavery. But in Key West, they elected this Charles F. DuPont, who was a very popular sheriff in his time. And he served about 5 years in Key West. And he was well liked in the public circles down there. And Key West was a very open society back then, and they actually he got many positive reviews, and eventually founded the first chapter of the NAACP in the state of Florida. Which, Florida as it is now, you always hear weird Florida stories, but that is very advanced for Florida. And I'm very proud of that for Florida. That 1888,
Cool.
131 years ago. And think of all this thing. Think about what happened just 50 years ago down here. There were 50-something years ago, they were still lynching people down here.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
I can't believe that in the last 50 years we've been that uncivilized.
What? That with people with limited information would just go out on a tear and just decide to base their decisions on a whim or fancy and just take a person that was accused and not brought up on trial and then just take him out and hang him from a tree without the right of a trial.
All right.
There is a reason why their trials are made in the United States. So people can have their say and they can have a rebuttal against everything said. Just because someone's accused doesn't mean that they're guilty. But there are a lot of times when the accusations are so prevalent, so widespread. Hence, all the hanging. Some of them may have been guilty. A lot of them were unwarranted. A lot of them, they were innocent people that were just accused of a crime. And since they were of a different perceived skin color,
Well, or
a different
poor,
faith, or poor,
undereducated, had no idea how
they
to defend
were summarily executed. And but back in 1888, Key West did the right thing and elected a black sheriff, and he did a great job. Okay, on another note, since we're talking, we have another notable person, Mr. Alvarado Cisneros.
Oh,
And
the stalker.
Is a stalker. And I think, Damon, you tell the story. Let's see you tell us what he did at Taylor Swift's.
Well, the article that I breezed through, I'm not a social media monster, I'm on for about 10 minutes a day, was that he was caught showering in Taylor Swift's house again.
In New York, where he took a ladder and he climbed up in there.
Climbed in and showered and then was caught there, but the way
Didn't he
that-
like
And
take
you know-
a nap in her bed or something?
You know, if
That
you're
might have been
showering,
the first
Damon,
time.
if you're showering, he probably was masturbating in the shower.
most likely,
There's soap and there's water.
and the
Don't need
imagination
to.
It's still gross.
and everything, but
Oh my God.
that he had been caught there again.
Okay, and to tie in with this, just so you know, Mr. Alvarado Cisneros is tied to the Keys. He's from Homestead, Florida, directly north of the Keys. And prior to his arrest in New York, he was caught in North Key Largo, Ocean Reef, on one of the members' property in their utility shed, smoking pot, and was arrested. And before he was arrested, and he was set up to do some type of something during the process of adjudication, required him to be here and to go through some process. But he was up in New York getting arrested for the Taylor Swift incident. And that violated the requirements he had for his parole for his incident in the Keys. So they issued a new warrant that he violated due to his incarceration for Taylor Swift. I mean, it's just very interesting that happened just several weeks. So the arrest in Key Largo happened several weeks before while he was smoking pot. And I posit a theory that he was in that utility closet smoking pot. And he's probably listening to, do you know any of the songs?
I know them.
Well, one of the songs is, wait, I know them too. I can't, come on, some of the words, come on, help me.
I'm not that good.
Oh, God. I got nothing in my brain. Da, 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 da. Come on.
I know
no, some of the
you're
songs.
trying to think of. I just don't know the words to it.
Okay, there's We're Never Ever Gonna Be Together Again. We're never ever, no, I don't even know.
Getting back together.
Getting Back Together. That's a song.
Right. There's lots of them. Just not my genre.
I know, and there's the one where she plays Romeo and Juliet, and father said, "Get away from Juliet." So he's in the utility closet. Maybe he has his headphones on with his Cricket wireless phone, I imagine.
Is that the prepaid?
I think it's a prepaid
Yeah.
phone. He's listening to Cricket wireless phone, and I apologize if you're a listener and you're on a Cricket wireless phone. Keep on listening. I'm just thinking that.
So you think he was just in these people's utility shed,
Listening
to Taylor Swift,
And he had a
smoking
brilliant
weed,
idea.
that
he was
going
inspired
to go all the way
to New York. He goes, one day I'll have nothing on my brain. That's what people say. But I keep. God, what's the name of that the next lyric? It's going to be all right. Because a player's going to play. And a stalker's going to stalk. And he's probably going, I'm going to stalk.
But it's haters.
Shake
are
it
gonna
off.
hate.
Shake it
No,
off.
I know, but it's not haters
It's
going to
called
hate, but
shake
he's
it
not a
off.
hater. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
So he
I
was in
should
the
know
shed.
Shake it off like a
Shake it
motto
off.
gear.
I should know that.
You should have known
The
that.
hijacker.
Right.
Several times.
What? You should have known
Hi,
it?
Kayla.
What? Kayla?
That was the song that would come on the radio when me and a friend
Would twerk.
would dance. I dare not refer
Would she
to
twerk?
what I was doing.
Did she have a
as
big ass?
twerking.
Did she have a big ass? A big ass? Okay. So what? But this, so we do have connections all around the. I mean, this is amazing, Mr. Alvarado, and just enough, and it just goes to show you, because all the rumors you hear about, like if you date Taylor Swift,
Well, you're going to be her next song.
you're going to be the next song. But I wonder if
We'll
Mr.
make fun about this.
Alvarado Cisneros
I'm sure.
will be involved in it. But it just goes to show you, don't fall for fucking Taylor Swift, because you're doomed. You're either going to be in one of her fucking songs, or you're going to be arrested. And you got it both in New York, and he's slowly wiping out the East Coast. New York, it got all the way south and all the way north, and he's probably can hit Baltimore. What's going to do? What's the other guy? Selena Gomez? He's going to go through an underwear drawer?
Well, that's what, Boca, West Palm, like that. She wasn't in Florida.
Oh, there's
She's
girls
from
in there.
Florida. I don't know where she's at now.
Ariana Grande. He's going to beat up her ass. Oh my God. She's down in
What are
South.
they going to do to this guy? Is he in jail?
Well, I'm sure he's going to get.
Well,
nice
he's
new
probably
piece
going to
of
get like
jewelry
6
about
months, and they're going to probably
it.
get.
They're going to stick an ankle bracelet on him. Stalking's a pretty serious thing. You don't show up in a celebrity's apartment in her shower, and you're not getting out of that without attracting the lady.
I don't know. I think that would be logical. That would be a logical
But it
thing.
is Florida.
But then again, there's a lot of things. Remember David Letterman's stalker? She was doing all sorts of crazy shit at his house. This was like 15, 20
David
years ago.
Letterman had a female stalker?
Oh, yeah.
What's that old
Yeah,
stalker?
David Letterman, at the end of it, whenever you see David Letterman, he looks like the fucking, who's the bomber? The
Kaczynski?
Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski.
Ted Kaczynski.
He looks a little like Ted Kaczynski.
He's in a
Shows up
prison
with the
in
big.
Minnesota.
Yep. In Minnesota, once again, it rears
Yeah.
its ugly head. It does.
He's in an underground prison in Minnesota.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. There's an underground prison just outside of Stillwater, Minnesota.
Is that like the Dark Knight movie?
I don't know.
The Dark Knight Returns. He was in an underground prison where they had to
I actually
climb
thought
up for the fucking big well, and he had to
I thought the best idea for a prison though was actually
in space.
in San Diego.
Oh,
It's a
Skyscraper.
skyscraper. And
Why
if they
not? Go ahead, jump.
yeah, and the windows are only wide enough to fit maybe a hand through. So even if they were to break out the glass, you can only get like your fingers out the window. And
Really?
when they take them out so that they can have their like 1 hour a day of daylight or fresh air and walk around,
On the
it's
roof.
on the roof. So you want to get off, jump. Good luck
Oh, no.
surviving that one.
what are you going to put nets out or something? Do they have
they,
that?
don't, they don't care.
Well, you got that.
Even
You have
if
to
jump
protect the
off, you're
people
gonna die,
underneath
that's
them.
it. You know?
No, I'm not cold blooded.
No, but they're like this is like a maximum security prison for really bad people.
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold out here.
Uh-oh.
You guys are going to have to really talk it up because I got to go and use the men's room. And you know what? You're going to have to start. You're going to have to start talking. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Well, that came on pretty quick.
It did. It did. Well, I have these 16
I'm
ounces right here.
concerned about his bladder.
Oh no, let's not go all there.
We could have a
That's
conversation
enough.
about Jim's bladder.
No, that's not. That's not
entire
necessary.
time.
Come
I
on.
mean, that came
Why
on
do you
like,
have to say
It
that?
did.
like a woman who had given birth to twins. Jim, do you pee a little when you sneeze?
We could get him some of those the adult diapers.
That depends.
Yeah, depends. That way he could just sit here and in the breaks. And if he gets real quiet, he's concentrating and like pushing out the urine. And we'll just know. Kind of like how when a baby's pooping, we make that face.
Make that face.
Yeah.
Don't bother me.
They
I'm
don't
so-
bother me.
You get him some pads for the chair. We don't want
Oh
the cushions
yeah,
getting wet.
those pee pads. We could get some of those pee pads, and then he wouldn't get the cushions all messed up in the couch out there. He could. They do make pills for that too. I think.
I wouldn't want to take something for that.
I
Because
wouldn't
then
be
what if you
concerned
couldn't pee?
Yeah, well, I wonder if it just lightens the sensitivity of having to pee. But then I would be more concerned that I would pee myself. Just because it's like, oh well, I don't feel like I have to pee, so maybe you hold it even longer, and then all of a sudden your bladder gets really full, and then
Well, holding it, and he pees in record time.
he does. He's a fast eater.
No wonder you pee every 5 minutes.
What? It was quick. I washed
It
my
was-
hands too.
He was very
Listeners, comment below on the time in which that took.
Well, I peed in the sink. No, I'm just kidding.
Which
As
is
God is
12
my,
feet from
in the
back.
words of Scarlett O'Hara, as God is my witness, I shall never pee myself again.
Again.
Again,
No,
no,
there's been occasions where you have.
not here. Not here.
It's been a few years.
It's been some time. It's been some time you did it. Have you ever did the car when you're waiting? You're waiting, you're driving, you're gonna make it.
That's when you're supposed to take like the big Mountain Dew bottle and then just pee while you're driving, right?
Yeah, Joe always gives me
I think
crap about
Gatorade.
keeping stuff like empty bottles and things in my truck. He says they just roll around the floorboard and looks like crap. What if I get stuck in traffic?
Right.
Yeah, a Gatorade bottle.
What am I supposed to do?
What's the biggest bottle you can use? A pickle
Get out
jar.
on the side of the road while you're stuck in traffic and pee?
Yeah.
No, because then I'm going to get arrested and labeled as a child predator because some kid is going to be behind me and see it. It's not
And you
happening.
can't use the cans because they got those sharp edges.
Yeah, oh yeah, you don't want to give yourself another circumcision.
No, yeah, you're gonna cut the tip of your penis. Just the tip.
Unless you wish it was uncircumcised.
And
Well, or
what? Are you uncircumcised?
No, I'm white. Uncircumcised.
What do you mean you're white?
I'm white.
Black people are circumcised too.
Right, but how many Caucasian people have you met that are uncircumcised? That are not from any specific religious
I haven't seen a lot of different penises in my life. I haven't seen enough penises from around the world, which is not my aspiration, but I have never seen an uncircumcised penis.
You've never seen one in like real life,
No, I've seen one in
on weird
an adult
porn.
video.
Porn. Yeah.
I've never seen. Hey, well, it's just I'm not comfortable. I'm not uncomfortable saying it. I'm not comfortable asking to see it either.
Well, you're not asking to see it.
No. But if someone says they were uncircumcised, I say, "Can I see it?"
You would ask that. You'd be like, "Hey, whip it out."
I think right now I'd have to do it. Right, just like that thing about the tattoo thing we're talking about coming up. That I always said I would not get a tattoo because I think it's affected. I'm trying to affect the idea of being a younger man, but it's almost my obligation because of the podcast that I have to get one.
No, because there are other people that will probably get one.
No, but I can, as a Keys bartender, maybe I should just
You
get
don't
one.
have a tattoo at all?
I have no tattoo.
None.
I have virgin skin as well.
That's right, you are a virgin.
But that's only because the one that I would get is absolutely massive. Ridiculously expensive.
It would be all across your back, right?
No, it would be further than that. My thought is that it would start at my shoulder on just above the pec, I guess you would say. Would run up over my shoulder and then kind of spiral across my back, abdomen, then back down.
Yeah.
Spiraling down, if you can, just like spiral staircase, down my body, and would end at my right knee. But it would be a band of whatever I chose that would just wrap around several times my body.
You know what? David says something like that. It sounds totally sensible.
cool.
But if
Right.
some 19-year-old came up and said, "You're so fucked up, motherfucker," that's crazy. When you said it, it sounded like clearly enunciated. This is what I was thinking about, and I was doing it. It makes perfect sense. Yes, of course.
I thought about it since I was 21.
And it would take like
35.
It sounds like it would take a month.
It would be a lot of sittings.
It would.
That's for sure.
But I would tell you.
How long do you think it'd take me to get a Celtic band around my bicep, my huge bicep?
Your huge bicep.
I'd say go. I mean, it's not huge. It's
It
big.
depends on if it has color or if it's filled.
Yeah.
Like if it's just an outline, or if it's filled in with black, if it's filled in with color.
I don't need it filled in
Like
completely.
if it's thick,
Kind of
you know,
greenish.
then it would. Be,
I want it girthy.
If it's girthy,
I want
it's
it
gonna take more
girthy.
time.
Oh, but
But see, some people actually get a kick out of getting tattoos. Like Tyler thinks they tickle. Like he has
Really?
a ton of tattoos, and he just thinks that he's fallen asleep getting a tattoo.
Really?
before. But
is that the best way to get it when you're
He tattooed the
As long as
scar
you don't-
on his leg.
what?
He tattooed the scar on his leg.
yeah, from when he
the
shattered his
surgery.
leg from his accident, he has like his actual
Oh, I got it.
scar. He had
That is
tattooed
his
like
scar,
stitches over
and he
the
had
whole
it
thing.
tattooed.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Yeah. But if
I don't know why I think
if
that's
you've never had
cool,
a
but
tattoo, I wouldn't start with a real big piece. I would find
I want a
something
Celtic
small
band. I want that.
first.
I don't want to
see
go.
if you can handle the pain, especially if you're going to go all the way under your arm.
I'm going to do it because I got to be able to accept the pain.
It's painful.
I'm not. I'm not a wuss, but then again, I'm not stoic. I think it'd be kind of funny because obviously being able to handle it is not necessarily good radio or podcast, but being able not to handle it is good. Being able to experience a little pain is good.
I think
to
it's
do
hard.
it, or maybe I can. We're going to learn whether. But then again, I do. My thing I fall back on is the whole blood transfusions I do.
I can tell you from personal experience, not that I've been, obviously I haven't been tattooed, but a very good friend of mine has had many, many tattoos
Yeah.
from those guys. It is the cleanest,
Yes.
tidiest shop. They open everything in front of you.
Oh, I believe that.
So there's
They're
no
very sterile.
feasible way that I could see where you would be able to transfer anything from one person to the next because they are absolutely.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not. I have no fear of that. I have absolutely no fear of that.
Rare instances.
I
your
just
body
don't want to
will
make a bad
reject
podcast.
it.
What?
In rare instances, your body will reject the ink, and you will have spent all of the money, and in about a month, you will have nothing left.
Or just very faded.
Very faint scars.
Oh, really? That's it.
It happened to another friend of mine.
It's like a superhero. I'm rejecting ink.
Well,
The
some
other
people
thing
will
I've
reject the
thought about-
color. It's odd. Or
Yeah.
like the pigment in your skin, it just kind of like it'll fade so quickly. You
The
can't
ones that
tell.
are interesting me at this time are the ones with the glow-in-the-dark ink.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Oh, they
can't-
have that. They can.
You can't see them during the day. Or
Yeah.
it's white, so if you go in a black light, then it stands out.
Right.
That's what I wanted to do my stars with once it became
Yeah, it's great.
FDA approved.
But I don't know.
You heard that one? The welcome Jamaica. Have a nice day.
No.
Oh.
You heard that one?
Is this the penis tattoo?
You had a penis tattoo.
Yeah.
Guy gets married. He takes his wife. He's very jealous. Goes to Jamaica. He's in Montego Bay. They're having a good time in a nightclub. Blah 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 blah. And he's really jealous. He notices that the natives are really, the locals are really paying a lot of attention to his wife. She's very vibrant and sexy. And he goes in the bathroom and he knows one of the guy that was talking to her goes, "Hey." Then his wife's name was Wendy. And they're peeing at a trough, and he looks down, and he sees Wendy tattooed on the guy's penis, and notices it's kind of fresh. And he goes, "Hey, I noticed your tattoo. Do you know my wife?" He goes, "Well, who's your wife, man?" And he goes, "Wendy." He goes, "Oh, nice. We got a name tattooed on your penis." "That's not Wendy. That's welcome to Jamaica. Have a nice day." Because it gets longer, get it? It's very long, girthy penis. It's girthy. Long. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it. You know, it's
There was
perfect.
another one
there's
that's similar, and it said short, like short, and it was like Shorty's Bar and Grill, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah. Shorty's Bar and Grill, Albuquerque.
And all you could see was short.
A lot of letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know, but the letters were like the end of words. So that's
Yes,
what I had.
but maybe this one was
All the shrinkage was in the beginning.
I guess so.
All the shrinkage, so at the end,
Could have been.
like he shrunk right. That's a specific.
Maybe it was
time.
more of like a
That's
turtle.
a specific time of shrinkage.
Maybe that's more like a turtle.
Like the neck
Where the
shrinks
whole
up.
darn thing sucks back in
Like,
there, except for the little.
The head, yeah. You know what? The head wouldn't shrink up that much because you have a skull in there. You're right.
Please explain that.
Well,
skull.
because the part of the, I know. You know what? I don't want to get in deeper in this. That's what he said.
Ba-doop-boop.
You know, boop. Listen, folks, we'd like to thank you for listening. We're at 45 minutes. It's something like that. Leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. This is Jim the Keys bartender. I'd like to thank Jenna Kelly. She's waving, not
Waving.
saying anything right now.
I know. I'm waving.
Waving. And we also have Damon.
Hello, hello.
And over the side, we have Tyler. He wasn't on the air, but he will be back. Goodbye.
So I seriously had to block